With Mists of Pandaria Classic on the horizon, what's the best place to play the expansion right now? I visited the best. In this video, I will compare Stormforge, Mistblade, and Twinstar. Twinstar has two realms. It's Helios, the original realm where you level, and Erebos, which is the new instant PvP realm. Somebody's challenging me to a duel. They probably don't know I'm in the middle of recording a video. By the way, excuse my voice, I'm sick. I sneeze a lot. What did you think this was for? I wanted to compare with Tauri too, but when I turned on their launcher, it started updating and my computer crashed when I tried to install the update. And I did not dare to do it twice. But either way, Tauri is basically a little bit less popular version of Stormforge's Mistblade anyway. It's pretty much the same season, fully progressed. There's just a bit less players on Tauri. And so comparing Twinstar and Stormforge right now, both are in different seasons, will probably give you more. And of course, don't forget to visit the video sponsor gtop100.com, who also have a list of Mists of Pandaria World of Warcraft private servers if that's what you're looking for. Thanks gtop100 for the support. Number one question on everybody's mind is definitely going to be what's the population like, and I can't blame you because population is what's reflected in activity on the server usually. And I found it to be pretty accurate. The population on Mistblade is usually around 1,200 at peak, which is at about 7 or 8 p.m. daily, while on Twinstar it's more like 200 to 300 at peak. So there's a huge difference in population and also activity across PvP, PvE, whatever it is that you do. There's a lot less people chatting in the world chat on Twinstar compared to Mistblade. And even queuing up for any kind of PV or PvP, it's much easier to get in a battleground or arena on Stormforge than it is on Twinstar. Twinstar will let you queue up for battlegrounds, random battlegrounds, in the evenings, definitely not sooner than afternoons. While on Stormforge's Mistblade, I was able to queue up for random battlegrounds and get in, even at 10 a.m. sometimes. As far as the arena, 2v2 is dead on both realms, 3v3 is dead. 3v3 solo queue is relatively popular and it is basically the only bracket you can queue up for on Twinstar. You will still only get some maximum 10 players in rotation, so you will be facing a lot of the same people again and again. And while on Twinstar you only can queue up for 2v2, 3v3 and 3v3 solo queue. On Mistblade you can also queue up for 1v1 solo queue, which for some reason is not visible right now in my Conquest tab. I don't know what happened. And that brings me to scripting. None of the servers is perfect. There's bugs I could find within a few hours of gameplay. So don't expect perfection. The bugs are usually not too annoying, but the scripting is far from perfect. And what I'm hearing from people is also that each of the servers is different in terms of how the classes perform. Of course, there's completely different seasons, so that may be one of the reasons too, but they say one class and spec may be overpowered on one server, while on the other one it completely sucks. And even in the world, you can see there's so many more players here on Stormforge's Mistblade around in comparison to Twinstar's Helios, where there's nobody here. In terms of PvE, there's a lot of world boss fights going on and people looking for groups to kill world bosses all the time. Flex is also very popular. Dungeons here and there. Leveling on Stormforge's Mistblade is mostly questing, sometimes a dungeon pop. There's usually enough people for like one dungeon group in most of the level ranges. It's usually not enough on Twinstar. You will have to solely rely on questing. I was able to get in some dungeons with my monk at level 72 on Mistblade, but it took a while. I wouldn't rely solely on that because you would be wasting a lot of time. But both of the servers have been in existence for over a year and a half at least, so most people right now are max levels. Twinstar will be deploying new patch content because they have been on the first patch for over a year and a half now. So season 2 is coming soon, while Stormforge will be launching their new fresh Mists of Pandaria realm. So most people are waiting for that coming in 3 weeks from now. And so really doing anything on Mistblade right now is kind of pointless because the realm is basically going to die and will probably reach some few hundred players at peak maximum, because most of the people will go for the fresh instead. I'm expecting there to be easily around 4,000 players online on the launch day in the evening. I think that's a very realistic prediction. Many returning players and also people that want to practice for Mists of Pandaria Classic. And I gotta give special thanks to some of my viewers that gifted me gear, gems, enchants, potions, gold. So playing on Stormforge's Mistblade has been so much more pleasurable for me. I quit Mistblade when it was just new, so my gear literally sucked. Hold on, this guy. Recording a video right now. Sorry. So I was able to get crafted malevolent gear, which apparently is even better than the grievous gear you get for honor points. You still have to get the off parts that are grievous for honor points. And with just 494 item level, I was able to do extremely well in any kind of rated PvP. So while on Twinstar's Helios, I'm still in the first season gear, only crafted mostly. But yeah, we're still just on the first content patch anyway, so I'm not even that much behind. Stormforge is very popular for Spanish speakers, so there's a lot of Spanish in the world chat sometimes. It's more Spanish than English, but most of the time you're able to speak English to other players, and it's not super annoying. And then you have a few Czech and Slovak players on Twinstar, since it is originally a Czechoslovak server. So you have to expect that. So on both servers there's gonna be some language barrier, but they are mostly international English speaking servers. And here's a live example. I was able to get in a dungeon relatively fast within a few minutes here on Stormforge's Mistblade, while on Twinstar I'm still waiting for my battleground, which it is usually much easier to get in a battleground. 6 p.m. right now, we're some 1 or 2 hours away from peak time. There's only one player in the 33 solo queue, which is the most active bracket for PvP. So as you can see, in terms of population and activity, Stormforge is miles ahead. The one that I personally spend more time playing on, and the one that I would recommend to most of you, is Stormforge's Mistblade, because it just has a lot better longevity, and the player count and activity is just so much better than on Twinstar. Somebody may think it's gonna change with the new patch on Twinstar. It's not going to. Hate to break it to you, but that new patch is gonna change nothing. And there's gonna be even less players once Shaylun drops. And finally, for the real professionals and people that want to push rating and play competitively, I wouldn't recommend any of these servers. Don't play on these smaller average size servers, because there's a ton of dodging, win trading, and all kinds of shenanigans going on both of these servers. So if somebody wants to flex with their achievements and things they've achieved on any of these servers, it's just straight up stupid. For instance, Twinstar, the way the 3v3 solo queue works is that you can leave in the preparation room once you know who your teammates are and who your opponents are. So you can literally choose your matchups. If you leave the arena before it starts, there's no rating change. You don't lose rating, you don't gain rating, and you can literally dodge forever like this. And then of course on both servers you can just queue up with and against friends outside of peak time and just farm each other for rating. And nobody's gonna stop you because there's barely anyone online. So while I don't say generally playing PvP or being competitive on private servers is bad, if it's a smaller private server like both of these are, it is pointless, and it's only good for those people that literally have no chance of being competitive on a real populated server. And so this has been my experience playing for several days and hours on both of these servers, trying out as much as possible. But it's still my limited experience, so if you've played on any of these servers, maybe you even played on Tauri or Pandawa, which are also solid Mists of Pandaria servers, let us know what's your experience been like, what you like and dislike about all of these. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, comment, and you will likely catch me on a Stormforge's Mistblade, maybe Twinstar's Helios and Erebos, and you will definitely catch me live streaming the launch experience on Stormforge's Shaylun on the 18th of December 2024. See you there.